right, Bama Nation, tap in. Let's get to it. How y'all feeling today? Tap in, come in, tap in. Nation, what's good, man? We got us a dub on the hands. Look like we're going to be able to close this thing out. How you feeling today, brother?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. It's a huge win today. And I got to say, I've been super impressed with Ty Simpson.
Simpson, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more so impressed with this offensive line. This offensive line really showed up today. They allowed him to make plays. They created opportunities. He had ample amount of time. I think the average time from throw to snap to throw was another 3.98, something like that. Is right now is what's being reported at the average time from throw to snap. And he's been able to maneuver the pocket, navigate the pocket at a level that you want to see from a fourth year guy. So we're going to dive into all that conversation as we get ready to for the post game.
Here we go. So Jeffrey and Only Talk Sports is out today due to a work shift. So we've got Alabama Richie coming in to join us as a substitute. And you know him from the Alabama College Show. How you doing tonight? How you doing today, good buddy?
Hey, not too bad.
Oh, here we go, man.
Oh, there
What's
we
up,
go.
Richie?
How you guys doing today?
What's good, Richie? Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, Coach. Good to see you, Jackson. Previewing the SEC right now and then watching our game. Just got off myself. But, man, we look comfortable, but we can't get too comfortable.
No. Nah, because we got Georgia coming up 2 weeks from now, but we'll live in the moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Victory. Absolutely.
Here we go. And the commercial's on the Geico right now, so we're kind of waiting for him to get out. So we can wait for the ball game to end. We can go over our post game analysis.
Hey, so we can actually start it right now, man. I'm looking at a trend right now. Alabama has gotten to a space where the balanced play calling style on the offensive side is definitely a testament to what Coach Grubb said. You know, maintaining those, even if it's not as explosive as we want it to be, i.e. the run game. A lot of people at the halftime, we only got such and such yards. But look at what it's doing to the defense. Look at what it's causing them to do. They have to respect it. They're not giving us a light box. They're going heavy in the box. You got to be able to pass against it. Wisconsin chose to make Alabama beat them with the quarterback passing game, with the quarterback's arm. And if you're able to do that with the pass protection that this offensive line provided, the consistency in the pass protection, I think that's what you roll with. You don't try to force feed the run game if it's not being effective. And I think we have to look at that word in a different sense too. Effective is am I manipulating the defense to set up something? If what I'm calling is causing the defense to do exactly what we prepared for, then that's effective play calling. And I want to give hats off to Ryan Grubb and same with Kane Womack. You know, this defense only gave up 7 points today. 7 points today. The other 7 came from special teams. Outside of that, your defense played lights out. So I'm excited about what this thing is, how this team is evolving. The trend, I really see a certain sense of urgency from staff to players, and it's showing up on the field. So that's my initial analysis. Even with the game winding down here in the last couple minutes, I just like the product that's been put on the field the last let's go ahead and say 9 quarters, because the end of the Florida State game wasn't horrible. You could see that guy started to wake up a little bit to that last drive, but the last 9 quarters have been very promising for what we want to see this Alabama team develop into on both sides of the ball.
Oh man, 100%, Coach, 100%. And you know, a stat that I was thinking about was entering today's game, we've had 1 sack. We've got way more than 1 sack today. Last I checked, we have 4, and it's just like, it makes me feel pretty good. I'm loving where we're at.
Yeah, 4 sacks on the day. Defensive line continuing to get quality pressure in the pass game. Also seeing the linebackers on their run fits. You know, guys being confident and coming up and putting their bodies on the line, not necessarily on the line, but just doing their job. doing their job. And I like the play calling from Kane Wommack because Nakai Hill Green today showed us his value being added to this roster. We'll talk about it. It's a lot of plays. Maybe he wasn't the one making the tackle, but a lot of his activity is what opened it up for the defense to be supportive and be locked in and be effective today.
Richie, what do you think?
Absolutely. So as I watched the game today, just gave up another touchdown, 38-14, but it's been a marked improvement since that Florida State game. I know it's ULM and Wisconsin, and neither team are that good, but I'll go ahead and say, I like that Ty's been able to open it up like was said. I said going into the Georgia game, you really don't want to see it on the shoulders of Ty Simpson. You want a run game. You really want to establish something. Now, I said last week and even on Thursday with you and Jeffrey, going 17 for 17 is expected against a ULM team. So do it against Georgia. Do it against Wisconsin. So I'm very happy with the pass protection for Simpson. I like that Williams is comfortable. I like that Kevin Riley's been stepping up. Jeremy Bernard's comfortable. Ryan Grubb has stuck to what he knows best and just getting the guys, with the right plays and playing free. So I definitely like what I'm seeing so far. Against Georgia, they're going to run or rush more and have forced out of the pocket a little bit. So that's going to be, a big test to see, can we protect Simpson in that game? Other than that, today's been great. DeBoer made the right calls. I think that everybody was comfortable. Can't wait to see what we get when we're healthy. But it's a nice bounce back game after the Florida State game when, to me, a lot of players looked like they were slow, didn't look like – now, not everybody played bad, but it's been a nice little 2-week bounce back. You're at home 2 weeks in a row, comfortable in the pocket. You're comfortable on the defensive side. Thought it was a marked improvement from the coaching staff to really get the guys bought in to what they know best. And something that I wanted to get your guys' take on is the Tim Keenan DeBoer exchange at practice. I really like that, the way DeBoer handled himself over that, because I was a bit nervous that it would be a bad look. But from what a lot of people and myself have said, I even said it on TikTok Live earlier today and yesterday, that was what you needed from this team. You need a guy like Tim Keenan to hype this team up, because we have, look, I'm not saying we're the best in the SEC right now, but we have a talented roster that can go very far in this conference. But what do we want to do, and what do we want to establish? So other than that, I think we played pretty well.
I'm gonna go on the other end of it. Okay. I think what Tim Keenan did overall is effective, but that should have been from day one. It shouldn't have took a loss for that. And sometimes you need your negatives to come out early. We saw entitlement play against Florida State for 3 quarters. We saw entitlement too little, too late. The 4 quarters against Louisiana Monroe to play a complete game against them. To come out against Wisconsin, a tough defense, right? A defense that's going to be tough on the interior, especially in the run game. Something that we were effective in, regardless of what everybody want to say. This run game was effective today. This offensive line played. If I had to give my MVP right now, without going back and watching film, just impact right now, I'm giving it to the offensive line. The pairing of Michael Carroll and Jaden Roberts on the right side of that offensive line is elite, and that's not taking anything away from Geno and Wilkin. I'm just saying, when those two are in, pass pro and run blocking for 2 weeks straight has been a lot more effective. Caden Proctor played a more complete game. Still has some spots today where I think he's going to really have to tighten up against Georgia. But if we're going to get that type of help from the right side of the offensive line, you can call a lot of your plays to help favor Chip. Whatever you got to do to help Caden Proctor against Georgia, whose front is struggling. So I'm looking at this now. The mindset and the trend of buying into what's being taught philosophically, right? What needs to be done for this scheme? That's what I see guys starting to pick up on defense. The 3 plays where they look confused, that resulted in big plays from Wisconsin. So I want us to remember this. Coach Smook said this in the game. If you ever in our live watch parties again, if I say the defense look confused, expect a big play. That happened 4 times this game. Lights out, but 4 plays out of the 61 or 59 plays that they played on the defensive side. They played lights out all but 4 plays. I like those ratios. I like that momentum. When guys are bought into a concept or to a scheme where they're flowing, that's where you're going to see production like you have seen for the last 2 weeks from the Chris Tide. I want to swing something to the panel real quick. Final score 38-14, Alabama over Wisconsin. Let's jump down to let me get. We're just going to go with the ESPN stats right now until Alabama uploads theirs to the main website. And Rich, if you see the Alabama official stat line, go ahead and bring it up for me, bro, or send me the link. I'll pull it up so we can get it on here. But today, man, I'm looking at the finale of this score, and let's get into the box score. I want to talk about the offensive production in the run game. A lot of people were concerned about the run game, and I want to highlight something. A lot of people get caught up on these frontline numbers. I want you all to take a deep breath for 1 second and look at what we were able to do with the play calling style. Why the offensive run game, why I still feel like it was effective. And I'm going to show you right now. Hold on. All right, let me share screen. Let me put this up here, chat. I'm going to share screen with this. And then we're going to go right here. There we go. All right. Remove that banner for me too. There, I got it. There we go. All right, so I want to dive into these numbers right here. So you had Ty Simpson, who's your quarterback, right? He was one of the leaders in total carries throughout the game, right? 6 carries, most of them was scrambles, no negatives. Had 1 negative run play where he was kind of got flushed out the pocket and just took a negative run play. But overall, Ty Simpson was effective with his legs, right? You look at the rest of the running back room, 7 attempts for Kevin Riley. That's 1 running back, 20 yards, 2.9 yard average. Dre Washington came and gave you 2 carries, 6.5 yards average. AK came in towards the end to clean up 4.5. Richard Young came in and gave you 3. So design runs, 22 to 30 pass attempts. Is that not a balanced offensive attack to go and throw the ball 30 times and complete 24 of those passes? But not only that, but go and every situation you look at where Alabama was in, 3rd down, it was 3rd and manageable, 3rd and passing, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 2. If you ever got into a situation at this point, at any point in time in this game where you felt like you needed to get 2 yards on the ground, I could look at these stats and say, okay, I'm confident in giving it to my top 3 carry backs, my top 3 backs in the backfield, from the backfield, and they're going to give me 2 yards. That's balanced play calling. That's effective run game. That's having an effective run game. What's your thoughts on the low numbers, but the effectiveness of the style of play calling that we saw today? Rich, I want to start with you, then Jackson will swing to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you knew this was going to be more of a defensive game than anything, and I said this going into the Wisconsin week. You're going to get more of a defensive game than you are going to get offensively from Wisconsin. So to have those kind of numbers didn't surprise me. Against, and I've said this before, against Georgia, those are going to change and you're going to need to get a lot more. But I really like the fact that you have more than just an arm presence from Simpson. You know, the effectiveness that he has with his legs is what you need because, you know, and I don't mean to go back to last year, but with Milroe, you either wanted the legs or you didn't. And this is kind of what a lot of people have said this year is you want a more well-rounded quarterback play. So I really, really like the fact that he was able to be the leading rusher and they don't have to worry about, okay, he just stands in the pocket. I know a lot of the people were saying in the Florida State game, they were like, oh, a lot of people on X said it's like showcase the leg talent. It's like you don't want another running quarterback, but sometimes you get it and it works out. And that's what I like to see today. I actually really liked it. So it was nice that the leader, because they're always going to lean to your quarterback, right, as the leadership.
Yep.
So my take on it is, since he was the leader today and he did what they asked him to do and he delivered, it was very nice to see. So I'm extremely happy that he led the carries. Now, next week not next week, in 2 weeks against Georgia, you're going to want to see more of a running back game and not have it lean more on the shoulders of Ty. But today there's a Ty and get the job done. So that was what I liked about the fact that he was the leading rusher of this game. So that's just my take on it. But, it did surprise me that Kevin Riley and those guys were where they were. It really didn't. But it's like I also said, too, last point is you're going to take what, like the comment said, what the defense gives you. You're also going to, have some ifs. And that's what you want for 2 weeks, because when you play a better defense and a stronger team, you're not going to want to make too many mistakes. And like you said, Coach, 4 plays this whole game were bad plays. So if that's all it is, then you're in the right direction. But don't get too comfortable, because, this team did fight, but we still pulled it off.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna back out real quick and come back in and see if we can fix. They said we got a choppy stream right now. That's why I wish I gotta start hosting it. Jackson, you hosting it, so it's going off your connection. We're gonna have to let's get some post game analysis. Let's get our picks in, and let's get it. See if we can get some on wax. So Jackson, check this out. Offensive MVP today for you from Alabama. Talk to me. Who's your offensive MVP?
Oh man, it's Ryan Williams for sure. And Ty Simpson, they share that MVP status, because the way they played today was amazing. I'm looking at the stats from Ty Simpson: 24 of 29 completed passes, 4 touchdowns, 382 passing yards, and especially that trip play to start off the third quarter. That was one of my favorite plays of the game right there. That was, and when he entered the second half, he had 1 incomplete pass. Only 1 incomplete pass. You don't see those kind of stats every day. You only see that on video games. That's it. It makes me feel pretty good about where we stand right now. And, Ryan Williams coming back from his injury, he had 5 receptions, 165 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns, including that 1 to start off third quarter. That was pretty cool right there. That was huge.
Absolutely. I'd give my MVP to Ty Simpson for just being a leader of this team. Now, I do like Ryan Williams too, but I'm going to give it to Ty. I think Ty deserves it because it was a complete game. There was a couple times you saw a little bit of iffiness, but not too much to be upset about. So I like it. I absolutely think that this was a step in the right direction for our team, the coaching staff, and the players, and they have something to be happy about. And hopefully it transitions into Georgia.
Oh yeah, 100%. We need a game like that against Georgia 2 weeks from now. But at the moment, we've got that 24-hour rule. We're gonna enjoy this. Then it's onward to the bye week.
Absolutely. I will go back off of what some coach said. You did another or wish you would have gotten I'm going off of something you said, Coach. The whole deal with Tim Keenan and that deal you wanted to see from the beginning. I agree with that. You wanted to see that from the jump. I felt like the Florida State game was a talk, but didn't walk the walk. And now you're seeing it out after 2 games. Maybe it lit a fire in the team that, hey, we know what we have and know we can be talented and compete in the SEC and compete in general. Just let's just play comfortable and not think too much of it and just go out there and execute. So you would have liked to see that from the jump. So I do agree with that. And most people don't want to believe it, but hey, you know, you got to talk the talk. You know, if you want to be a leader on this team, you got to show it every single week and make sure that you play to that standard of what they're looking for. Because I don't think the coaching staff is a failure. I think it's a matter of just the players getting bought into a new way, into, you know, just playing free ball. And I think we did that today.
100%, 100%. If I had to follow up, man, offensive MVP, I'm gonna have to go with the offensive line. In particular, I'm gonna go with Cam Dewberry. Cam Dewberry is the anchor for this offensive line. I know Parker Breath is the leader, but the anchor, the guy that's really setting the tone and consistent through all 3 weeks, Cam Dewberry has not been a problem for our offensive line. And I'm real close to saying we have a problem because the guard play, Geno Vandermark, Jaden Roberts coming back healthy, Cam Dewberry, that rotation of those guys, I saw there was a drive in the second quarter where Geno Vandermark started to drive out, and when we crossed the 50, you saw Jaden Roberts go out there to that right guard position, lined up next to Wilk and Formby, and Geno Vandermark was on the other side. Caden Proctor was the left tackle, and that offensive line there, they provide pass pro, but in the rain game, when you saw Michael Carroll at right tackle, when you saw Jaden Roberts at right guard, Parker Brailsford at center, left tackle for a play that I think it was Geno Vandermark, and then you saw Caden Proctor out there on the edge. That was a crazy good formation, right? You saw 3 different offensive lineups and the same quality of effectiveness, and that speaks volumes to the development of this team as far as learning the philosophy and being able to go and play fluently, as he was talking about. But offensive line against my MVP today, I'm not going to single one out. If I had to, it would be Cam Dewberry, but them as a whole, they have played light years better than where they were last year. Because week 1 against Florida State, I don't think the offensive line played bad. They played against a way more athletic front. In those games like that, you're going to lose some matchups. You expect your quarterback, your dual threat quarterback, number 2 dual threat quarterback out of the class of 2022. And the only way you're able to navigate the pocket has to be there. The offensive line gave him plenty of opportunities to navigate today, and that's why you see the passing efficiency. We talk about the 2 drops by the wide receivers. I think that played a part into why some of those passes weren't delivered to Ryan Williams. It was maybe 3 or 4 plays where Ty Simpson kind of just chose to go with the safer pass because, you know, I don't think he wanted to risk the drop. And we have a drop problem with our wide receiver core. Very explosive guys. That's usually their problem. Anything across the middle, they get hesitant. They're ready to make that quick move after the catch before securing the ball. We got to get those guys out of that. And if we fix that, this passing game is going to be borderline elite because now guys will become more so explosive possession receivers instead of just breakout receivers. Like Jeremy Bernard is valuable because he's an explosive possession receiver. He gets to a spot where he knows that he can read the defense early keys and get to his spots and make big plays. He doesn't have to score on every play. And because of that, you got defensive backs backing off of him, creating that extra cushion. And that's when he's able to make the safe play and turn into a big explosive play. So when you see that balance, it's because of the offensive line. Defensively, my MVP on the defensive side, and it may not show up in the numbers as far as total tackles or sacks or anything, but true freshman London Simmons, I called this one the other day. I said it was going to be spotting defensive front. I had a feeling that James Smith would have a chance, but I think we saw exactly what we need to see from James Smith to be effective. But London Simmons is a difference maker. I get Quentin Williams type vibes from this young man. Ever since third quarter of the Florida State game, I've been talking about this young man and raving about him. Him, Quay Rusar, Yanzi Pierre across the front. When those 3 are in, I don't care what you put around them, it's effective. But London Simmons showed up today. I will give him the defensive MVP for today. 1, for being the youngest player one of the younger players on the field and provide such a big impact. But just his consistency from week 1 in the third quarter all the way up until now, London Simmons has probably been the most effective defensive lineman. Past LT Overton, past James Smith, past all those other guys. I think you have a lot of effectiveness and a lot of consistency with London Simmons and his counterpart, Asai Fager.
Absolutely. London Simmons is a very slept on player for this team. And I think that if he can keep playing like this, he could be one of the defensive pieces that impresses a lot of people for sure.
Right.
It's one of those guys. It's like what it is now that we've seen 3 games, you absolutely now get a lot of other guys involved, and now you're starting to see. So I really like what is happening. So I like it a lot. So I'm still
100%.
high on Jaden Roberts on that offensive line. I really think he's at an elite level right now. So, and I continue to say that, and hopefully he continues on strong. But yeah, London Simmons, man, good call out.
Yeah, that defensive line really stepped up today. And a lot of the gripes and complaints were saying that they couldn't get pressure. I look at it at how people are playing Alabama's defense. You got so much athleticism up front. It's very few times we see those offenses putting their quarterbacks in true drop back situations. And today, when we saw those drop back situations, we saw them get to the quarterback. Still got to get clean up, finishing those tackles behind the line of scrimmage, finishing some of those sacks. But I think that'll come along. The more you get game reps, and people were like, let's take Ty Simpson out, this, that, and the third. We want to see Keelan. I think a game like today, I think Ty Simpson should have finished this game. Not that it was a big deal or it's going to be a problem. I just think for the sake of a tough conference opener against Georgia, you want him to have a feel of closing the game out, grinding it out, handing that ball off under the last minute, utilizing the clock, getting used to checking that clock, getting guys in the huddle, getting out the huddle, getting the right checks at the line, getting everybody used to your cadence in those pressure situations, because it's going to be rocking in Athens. And if it's a close game in the fourth quarter and we have an opportunity to go and secure it by getting in field goal range and playing safe, we need Ty Simpson to be used to those moments. I would have utilized today to kind of establish that whether we were trying to score or not, I would have and that's what made Coach Saban great. He would have you prepare for the game 3 weeks down the road with a scenario in a game where you were winning 63-0. So I would have loved to see that, but I think we got some quality reps for guys that are going to be a part of the game plan going forward. And I like where we at overall. And I think with this type of performance, I don't want to see us move up in the rankings. I want us to be right here when we go into Athens next week. Georgia, Tennessee got a big game today. We're going to be watching that one real close to get some scouting report. But other than that, man, this team doesn't have to look at their opponents right now. If they play like this, it don't matter who lined up across from us. This is a team that can win every game by multiple possessions based off the rest of the teams on the schedule. I'm talking about the Tennessees, the LSUs, the Georgias, the Auburns. If we play like this, what we played in week 2 and week 3, compared to what the other teams are playing like in week 2 and week 3. I like our week 2 and week 3 product versus their week 2. I like our week 1 through week 3 product versus Georgia, versus Tennessee, versus LSU right now. None of those teams look completely dominant. So I'm right there with you. Georgia Tech just upset Clemson, y'all. Georgia Tech just upset Clemson 24-21 with the game-winning field goal to close it out. They are going crazy in Atlanta right now. Georgia Tech over Clemson, just like I called it. Coach Smoot called the upset. Clemson is now going to be on the hot seat.
Oh, I called it too. I said Georgia Tech. I had Georgia Tech in this game too. In my pick and poll, I said I don't believe Clemson's as elite as most people have said. I think Hayes King is playing at a level now. I will say this, and I get it if you don't agree. It's fine. I respect the take. I've said this, that King is a lot more better with his leg talent than he is his arm, but he still can make necessary throws to get the job done. But for some reason, Georgia Tech just spoke to me on Monday, and I even said it on TikTok Live. I said, you really got to look at it. Brent Key is a sleeper in the ACC, and a lot of people had Brent Key going really far this year, and I think Hayes King has done what they asked him to do and has bought into this Brent Key system at Georgia Tech. So to Tech fans out there, you got a great win and a very promising win. And now you go on to the rest of your schedule. And I think people need to watch out for Tech because he could be their version of a Diego Pavia or Jackson Arnold or or somebody that's more with a leg?
Well, I'll say this, Richie.
Sure.
Brick Key came in with a mission. He changed up the recruiting style for how they were doing for Georgia Tech, especially
Yes,
on the front, defensively, offensive line, and then the type of skill players that they were recruiting. That was a huge thing for Georgia Tech, and they're becoming the system in itself, the philosophy, the scheme in itself is attractive to wide receivers. So when you got a quarterback that's able to kind of be your guide to go through that process of transitioning that program into that, you're going to see the type of success guys buying in. Haynes King came from Texas A&M. Him and Connor Wogman both leave Texas A&M, and they go to systems that really fit their skill sets. Haynes King is a guy that can make plays. He's not a system quarterback. He's not a game manager. Put him in situations where he can make plays, where he can cut the field in half, use his legs to his advantage, and he's physical. You could trust him. He's not going to put you in bad situations, and his gambles are justified. They're justified gambles. And you got, I think, South Alabama going to get a pass interference call on 4th and line the game. I think South Alabama's going to get it, and they're only down by 16 to Auburn with 7.5 minutes in the game in the fourth quarter. But chat, we're not going to hold y'all up. Post-game reaction, we try to keep these 45 minutes or less. Final thoughts, Jackson, as we get out of here, man. Overall performance from this Alabama squad going into next week, and then tell the people where they can find you, Jackson.
Man, I feel pretty good about where Alabama's at. Like, because it was like we heard the doubters all over the place after week 1. People were throwing the baby out with the bathwater all over the place on Ty Simpson. And I will say, though, something I've noticed about him was he didn't trust his instincts throughout week 1. Now, weeks 2 and 3, he has a little more trust in his instincts, way more than he did in week 1. And I think it's paying off. And we're going to be seeing that through weeks 5, week 8, throughout the rest of the season. He obviously learned from that week 1 loss, and it shows. It's going to be magical. I'm looking forward to this. Like, more big plays from Ty Simpson.
100%, man. 100%. Tell the people where they can find you, Jackson.
Oh, they can find me at Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I've got episodes of the Jacksonian, including my latest one with Mountaineer Paul from Lockdown, West Virginia, where we got into a deep backstory, but that's why you tune in to find out what the deep backstory is. And of course, I've got Pitt's analysis with Sports Talk with Austin and Final Whistle, including later tonight, where we'll be going over our takes on week 3, including the magnificent upset from Georgia Tech over Clemson. And for more updates on what I've got going on Alabama, the Voice of College Football, the Jacksonian, and the once-week calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show, where the weekends are full of surprises, check me out on JacksVOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at JacksonJohnson543908.
I appreciate that, Jackson. Hey, Richie, tell the people where they can show you some love at, brother.
Yes, sir. Show me love on X, Alabama Richie, TikTok, Alabama Richie 3. Those are the biggest platforms I'm on. So show the love. I go live every day, give picks, and I'm on Thursdays with Jackson and Jeffrey, Voice of College Football. And then shout out to my Wager Wire crew. Make sure you tap into what we're doing over there. Give them some love, a follow. They're very great people, love all of my family, and that's about it. And love all the Bama fans. And then where can they find you, Coach?
Man, you know where Coach Smook on all platforms, man, primarily on YouTube. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're on our way to 3.5K here in our second year as an independent entity. And we're glad to be a part of this Alabama Voice of College Football team. We've been trying to utilize our platform to drive that traffic over here for our post-game shows. For everybody that pulled up on the Coach Smook side, make sure y'all pull up on the Alabama The Voice of College Football channel. Subscribe, turn on all your notifications. Make sure you're always here when we go live Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. And for your post-game, we're probably going to be adding another segment coming in, another show for the week coming in after the Georgia week. But we're just filling some things out right now. A lot of things moving and with our motion and how we're covering the team and providing this coverage. So I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Appreciate the fellas for joining in. Immediate post-game reaction. This requires a lot. For everybody that's tapping in and watching us, listen, y'all got to understand. We got to We got to be in a space where y'all got to accept and appreciate what these people are doing. We don't just get done with the games and we don't get to come in and share our fan perspective. If we want people to come back and conversate with us, we have to put that fandom aside and see the game for what it is. And I like that. I like that here at the Alabama, at the Voice of College Football, we're building a team with a lot of unbiased takes and a lot of straightforward talk. And it's respectable, and it comes with some stats, and it comes with some factual backing. So if you all are enjoying it, continue to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to tap in. Use the make sure y'all check out our merch here at Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Make sure y'all go check the merch out. Make sure y'all get y'all some of the caps. Y'all see my boy Rich, he got the cap. I think my stuff will be here on the 12th, I believe. The 12th of October. I'm trying to figure out why it took it so long. Or that might have been a different order with my hoodie. I got some Voice of College Football gear coming in, quarter zips and a hoodie, I think. But y'all make sure y'all check it out, man. Continue to support. And with that being said, y'all, we're going to leave y'all with a big old 1, 2, 3. Roll. Roll. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. And y'all be blessed, man.
Catch you, fellas.